I am very thrilled. This show is going to just knock your socks off. With us now are Dr. Sylla and Toni. Welcome to the show. How are you both?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. So happy and so honored to have you here with us, celebrating life. Dr. Sylla, welcome.
Thank you.
And Toni, welcome.
Thank you.
Toni, tell us about your wonderful journey of life so far. So you're like a triple threat. You're an actor, you do all kinds of things. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your entertaining wonderfulness.
I just like to make people feel good and laugh and feel. And I'm very lucky to be here, thanks to this special lady right next to me, my doctor, Dr. Sylla. I was diagnosed with stage 4 rectal cancer in August of 2017. And I am living it up, and I'm healthy, and I'm fighting and kicking. You know what?
The big C word, right?
Yes.
So here you are. You've done films, you've done television, you've done radio, you've done print, you've done all types of things. How did you first get your diagnosis, and how did you get to meet Dr. Sylla?
I found my team after I had months and months of symptoms that just multiplied. There were anemic symptoms, extreme tired. And I push myself. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a Virgo. I want everything perfect. I want to be the best and feel good and make others feel good. And I wasn't focusing on myself. And I was very tired. It was hard for me to go up and down the steps. My heart was racing. I was bloated. I had, you know, it's like that commercial, you know, I had
have this,
I had this, I had bloating, I had this, like blah, blah, blah. Exactly, everything. I had pains on my sides. And finally, I decided to see a doctor. And I didn't get the answers that I was looking for twice.
Okay.
And then I went to my third doctor. We did a colonoscopy. We found out what was going on. And then I was introduced to Dr. Sylla.
Now, rectal cancer, there's so many different types of cancer, right? When you're diagnosed with rectal cancer, we talked about whether you had a colostomy bag,
yes,
or the things that you have to go through with things like this. So Dr. Sylla, what made you decide to practice this area of medicine?
It's a very challenging area, but I think in terms of my training, I just was very lucky to have great mentorship. I trained in New York, Cornell, Columbia, Mount Sinai. But so it's a field that I really feel very passionate about. And you're right, there's a lot of different treatments. And you know, we hope to be able to offer to our patients an option where they don't have to have a permanent colostomy.
Okay.
Because obviously you can imagine for a beautiful woman, active woman, to have the concept of losing part of your body and having a permanent colostomy is devastating. It's disfiguring, and it's a life-changing event. So I'm very passionate about offering, or at least considering, options that could potentially avoid the need for a colostomy.
Now tell me about that, because you've kind of, it's gonna sound funny, but you've almost like invented a new way, or you've created a new opportunity, and you got people to rally around you. So tell us about that moment of an epiphany, if you will, of, well, what if we did this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was very fortunate to train in minimally invasive surgical techniques for rectal cancer and colon cancer. But I think I was very fortunate when I was in Boston 10 years ago. We worked on developing a technique where we could actually perform most of the procedure from a natural orifice. We call it a bottom-up approach.
Okay.
And so it avoids having to create big incisions to do the procedure. And this has really allowed us other opportunities to potentially preserve that part of the body and not having to commit patients to a colostomy. So we're very excited that the procedure has been very successful so far. And Toni was a good candidate for that approach. That's after, obviously, all that she's gone through.
Yes.
She did require extensive chemotherapy and radiation therapy, and she can share her experience with this. I also want to bring up what she mentioned is very typical, especially in young patients, being told. It's unusual, obviously. People don't think of colon rectal cancer in a 40-year-old.
Right.
This 40-year-old
I play 26.
Yeah, 26. Right.
That's like me, I'm 54, but I feel like I'm 42. I get it, Toni.
But it's really important. She was having these symptoms, and I think people underestimated the severity of her symptoms because she's so young and otherwise healthy. But this can absolutely be colon and rectal cancer even in your 20s and 30s and 40s. So it's something that practitioners need to know and patients need to be aware of. Because so she was very wise.
You're right, and we rename it, Dr. Sylla. We rename it as other things like stress, or I'm just so busy, or I haven't been eating right, or maybe something that I ate didn't agree with me, right?
Hemorrhoids.
You have to find that right team, the right team of people that you trust and that you have faith in. And then you work together and you win it. My dad was a football coach, and I I'm in the game.
I'm in the game of life, right? Absolutely.
Toni is a fighter. She's one of the strongest person I've known, and she inspires me, and she inspires our patients as well. We call her up, say, hey, can you talk to this patient? They're having a really tough time. This is so valuable as an inspiration.
We talked about that. We talked about advocacy, and I asked you, I said, I would love to have you on the show, because I believe that's what it takes. It takes our whole community, like, stepping forward to make a difference for ourselves and for each other. One of the things that you love to do is you love to sing, you love to act, and you love to bring joy to others. And I feel like you're doing that even through your diagnosis.
You have to laugh. I mean, the body's very funny, especially this part of the body. So it's when I had one of my last checkups with my radiation oncologist was in there, and I thought it was going to be my nurse, but it was the big guy in there who's very serious, really sweet, shy gentleman. And my mom had the brilliant idea of doing this. So there's the drape, and you're, going solo back there. Right. And he opened up the drape, and on one side of one cheek said happy, and then the other side said New Year. It was January 2nd. So I had 2 sticky notes, and then he chuckled, which was good. It could have gone either way, but he has a good sense of humor.
And I believe that that's what prolongs our life. And I told you that my mom, when she was going through breast cancer and things like that, like, she would call her the stuff that she put in her breast, because she didn't have reconstruction, she'd call it her hoagie bun. And she's like, all right, hoagie bun, it's time to go. And she'd stick her hoagie bun in, and away we went. It is important to have laughter. It's important to have a great medical team. It's important to have those early signs looked at. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And strong family and puppy dogs.
Puppy dogs.
Puppy dogs and family and plants and anything that makes you feel good, just staying positive. It's a fight. It's always a struggle, life, right? But you just sit back and realize, I want to live. I want to do this. And I want to make people laugh, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully I made you laugh today.
You totally made me laugh today. And for my audience at home that has been following me for 10 years over the different things, they'll hear me always talk about my mom communicates to me through yellow roses. So you know that I celebrated my birthday this week. I was so excited when we were taping this. And I looked down at your shoes, Toni, and there was a yellow rose. So that's what this show is all about. And even we've got the food truck outside binging, like, dee, dee, they gave you the toot, toot, the honk.
Right in there.
But congratulations on all of your wonderful success and all the joy that you're bringing to others. And Dr. Sylla, thank you so much. Thank you for going into this profession. Thank you for caring about your patients. And thank you for challenging, the status quo, do things differently. So it's called bottoms up.
We call it bottom-up surgery. Absolutely.
Bottom up. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us on.
If you have a health challenge in your life, please just go get checked out. There's nothing wrong with finding out. Be well.
Thank you.